Before that, we were kind of talking about the draft order. The draft order is not the odds, because it is a lottery system, has kind of recently been announced at the time of the recording, just a couple of minutes before we pressed record. I first saw the news broke on thescore.com, and it says Major League Baseball announced Monday the details of its first ever draft lottery for the top pick in 2023, which, being a Pirates fan, it's something to look forward to, because in the past, the Nationals were the worst team at 55 and 107. They would typically get the number 1. The A's would have got the 2. The Pirates and the Reds were right around that 3. They were tied at 62 and 100. So the 18 teams that failed to qualify for the playoffs will enter the lottery, which is going to take place on December 6th. The Nationals, the Pirates, and the A's, owners of the 3 worst records in MLB, share the best odds of landing the number 1 selection at 16.5 are the odds. And then the Reds are going to be 13.2, Royals 10%, Tigers 7.5, Rangers 5.5, Rockies 3.9, Marlins 2.7, Angels 1.8, D-backs 1.4, goes on and on. Red Sox 0.8. The Brewers are 0.2, which was the team that barely missed the playoffs. So anywhere from 0.2. So technically, the Brewers still have a chance. Any of those 18 teams have a chance to potentially be taken from there. And obviously, the picks 19 through 30 are set, because they're going to be the 12 playoff teams. So it's going to be from pick 19 to 30, the Rays, the Jays, the Cards, the Mets, the Mariners, the Guardians, the Braves, the Dodgers, the Padres, the Yankees, the Phillies, and the Astros. So
I put it a little interesting twist on the draft. I mean,
I like it.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It works for other sports. I mean, the NBA has a lottery, and
it's worked for other sports. It definitely, I don't know how much it'll curb tanking per se, but it does. I could see it helping more middle of the road teams, that are those teams that aren't awful but struggle to make the playoffs every year. This could give them a number 1 pick, let's say, or number 1 or 2 or 3 pick, when really they would get the 10th. Maybe they do something with that if they get it 2 out of 3 years. They could change the fate of a franchise for a couple of years.
I mean, yeah, the 6th pick, the 6th worst team, Tigers, for example, this year, 7.5. You drop it down 4 more picks, it drops to 2.7. So it's like, you know what I mean? I mean, there's definitely there. And then you go from the Marlins all the way, obviously, almost the White Sox 0.6, and they're a 500 team. So, I mean, like you said, a couple of wins could definitely give you a couple more points. I mean, you look at it's almost always going to be one of the top 5, but you could see a Royals at a 10%, 65 and 97, still terrible, but they could end up with a number 1 pick. Right. With the 10% chance. So pretty cool thing.
We'll see how it works out.
And I mean, it's going to be something I'm going to tune into on December 6th. It's going to give us something to talk about. And it just gives a little bit more, excitement to the game when the game's not being played, other than, the free agents and stuff. So obviously stay tuned to that December 6th. We'll be doing more. We'll give you guys an update how it went down and give you more in depth. So